Welcome and thank you for joining our 2021 City of West Point Black History Celebration, coming to you virtually from West Point, Georgia. Our theme is Keep Your Eyes on the Prize, 2 Corinthians 5 and 7. And your MC for the program is none other than Council Member Sandra Thornton.
Hi, I'm Sandra Thornton, Council Member from the City of West Point. Welcome to our 2021 City of West Point's Black History event. We have an outstanding program outlined for you. Our theme for this year is Keep Your Eyes on the Prize. First up, our Mayor, Steve Trammell, will present you with a welcome. Following that, we will have prayer by Council Member Reverend Gerald Ledbetter. And then, following that prayer, Dr. Joseph Downs, Council Member for the City, will come and give us an introduction of our speaker. Our speaker for this year is Dr. Lawrence Brack, ophthalmologist from LaGrange, Georgia. Enjoy the program.
On behalf of the Mayor and the West Point City Council, I am delighted to participate again in this year's Black History program. I'm especially proud to note that West Point has a long history of positive community action to better the lives of our residents. Among us, there are many unsung heroes who care for our elderly, fight for voting rights, advocate for quality education for all children, and decent, fair housing across all economic groups. Most of all, in my day-to-day travels, I get to see West Point at its best, a small community with deep, caring roots where most folks know each other, standing ready to lend a helping hand. As we say in our city, we are a small town, but we're always ready to do big things. As we commemorate Black History Month, let us be mindful that Black History is every month where we recognize and appreciate the contributions of our residents. Thank you.
What an honor to be with you today from my office here in West Point, Georgia. My name's Jerry Ledbetter. I'm proud to serve you not only as a local pastor here in West Point for almost 20 years now, but as a member of your city council for the last decade. It is an honor to be a part of this yearly celebration of Black History Month here in the city of West Point. As we celebrate our community together, I invite you to join me in prayer. Let's pray. God, we are so grateful for your love and your grace and your blessings. We're thankful for the men and the women who've come before us, giving of their time and talents to make a difference, to make our community better. And we're blessed to still have individuals in our community today who are doing their very best to strengthen and to expand opportunities for everyone, and we celebrate them during this time. We're reminded today that red, yellow, black, or white, all are precious, and we each play a role in making our world a better place for those who follow us. Help us to celebrate our diversity today and every day, and to work towards greater unity in the days ahead so that we may honor you and one another. And may God continue to bless West Point, Georgia. In Christ we pray. Amen.
My name is Dr. Joe Downs, and I'm here to welcome you to the Black History Month for the City of West Point. This is a celebration awarding all sorts of outstanding students. And I'm here to introduce the speaker for the evening, Dr. Lawrence Brack. That's B-R-A-C-K. Dr. Brack is an ophthalmologist in LaGrange. He has a practice there, and he did his training in Tennessee, in Memphis. He did his undergraduate. He did his medical training in Indiana and his residency back in Tennessee. We're so fortunate to have him in our area. He has had experience working on damaged eyes, eyes with cataracts, all sorts of eye problems. He's an expert in these. I want to tell you a minute about his family. He has two beautiful daughters that he says he is so proud of. One is a a student, a high school student in LaGrange, and the other is a law student in Texas. And he says that she still has heat and she still has her utilities, so that's a great thing. We want to welcome Dr. Brack to West Point, and we're so proud to introduce him to all these outstanding students who are going to get awards tonight. Thank you so much. God bless.
My name is Lawrence Brack, and I'm an ophthalmologist at Emory LaGrange. I'd like to thank the City of West Point for allowing me to be the guest speaker for the annual Black History program. A couple of things that I want to focus on. One is my profession of ophthalmology, and then two, a little bit of my background in history, what led me into the field, and what kids have to do in general to become a professional. What is an ophthalmologist? Well, sometimes it can be confused with an optometrist. Both are types of eye doctors. An optometrist is a type of eye doctor who specializes in vision improvement, primarily by way of prescribing eyeglasses and contacts. They do also provide eye care, but not as much. An ophthalmologist, like myself, is a medical doctor. My primary concern is with the health of the eyes. We also can prescribe eyeglasses and contact lenses, but that's not our primary focus. You may have heard of certain eye diseases like cataracts, glaucoma, pink eye, and macular degeneration. Those are some of the things that we're primarily concerned with. An ophthalmologist is a medical doctor, so I had to go to medical school. This followed 4 years of undergraduate training in college. So after I graduated from college, I did an additional 4 years in medical school. After the 4 years of medical school, I did another 4 years of additional training just in ophthalmology. That's the thing that separated me from a regular primary care type of doctor. I'm a native of Memphis, Tennessee, and I was raised by my parents who were both educators, so they emphasized learning. I grew up reading a lot. We would go to the libraries sometimes, and we read everything. I read everything in particular, from my textbooks, newspapers, even comic books. Everything that allowed me to read and grow. I also grew up in the church, and by attending Sunday school, that gave me an opportunity to learn. Unlike regular church where the pastor or preacher speaks to you, Sunday school gives you an opportunity for two-way communication. It lets you ask questions, and it also allows you to share your experiences and hear the other experiences of other members, kind of making certain things a little more realistic. The part of Memphis I grew up in was a segregated community. It was primarily all black, and it made it a unique experience for me. However, Memphis was pretty much equally populated between white and blacks. But by it being primarily all black where I grew up, it kind of changed how I grew up with respect to a lot of people. I went to an all-black kindergarten, all-black elementary school. My junior high experience was all black except for 1 year. We were bused that 1 year to a neighborhood several miles away but the next year I went back to high school, it was all black. So when I got out of high school, I ended up going to the University of Tennessee, which is primarily a white school, because I felt that I needed to have a broader experience and to learn more about people outside of my community. Growing up in Memphis was unique because it's a big music town. There was music everywhere, and that influenced me also, having Stax recording company there. It's home of several famous artists like Al Green and Isaac Hayes, the Staples Singers and the Barcades. As a matter of fact, the Barcades played at my high school. So music was also a big influence in addition to, schoolwork. We played a lot of sports, basketball, football, in which I played basketball a year in high school. So even though my main interest in school had to do with my academics, I tried to be well-rounded, and I ended up playing in the band some and being in a musical group. I can say that when Martin Luther King was assassinated in Memphis, it kind of changed the tone of the city, and for some people, it made, I guess, for a difficult time where they lost a lot of hope, but then other people kind of became more determined to fight through some of the challenges. So although it was a negative ordeal, some people tried to make the best of it, of that climate. I tried as a kid to understand what was going on. Didn't always understand what was going on, but I knew that there would be certain challenges that I would have to deal with. That kind of helped motivate me. When I went to the University of Tennessee, I actually went on an engineering scholarship, and again, I chose that school because it was different from the schools in my community. By it being primarily a mixed and majority school, I figured it would offer me a lot of different experiences. While I was there, in addition to my studying, I was in one of the choirs and also joined a fraternity. So those things kind of kept me busy. One of the things I didn't do ultimately, I didn't apply myself like I should have done, and I ended up transferring to the University of Memphis, which was in my hometown. And I think that helped me to kind of be more determined and focused on getting out. And I ended up graduating as an electrical engineer. So I didn't always plan on being a doctor. One of the things I want you to always keep in mind that you got to be flexible and open to change in your life. My first job as an engineer was in the Washington, D.C. area. So that was an eye-opener for me in a lot of ways, having been in environments that were primarily white or primarily black. Now I was in a place where there were people from all over the world. And I felt good about that because I'm a people person, and it gave me an opportunity to learn about different cultures and grow. One good thing about the Washington, D.C. area, especially in the summertime, they would have festivals every week. So one week, there might be a festival hosted by the people from Japan. The next week, it may be the people from Jamaica. The week after that, it might be the people from Australia. So you get an opportunity to hear their music, eat their food, look at their wardrobe and dress, and of course, talk to them and communicate to them. So that culture was good for me because it allowed me to realize, things that I was missing, and realize that the world was so much larger than my hometown and my college experience. I worked in the Washington, D.C. area for about 4 years and decided to go to Indiana, and I took on the second of my jobs as an electrical engineer. I liked the DC area, but I felt that my new job would allow me a little more opportunity to do more in my field. Little did I know that while I was in Indiana, I would have the desire to even do more than what I was doing in engineering. So I was thinking about going into a different branch of engineering. I was an electrical engineer, but I wanted to go into biomedical engineering. So I started taking some biology classes to see if I would like those and to see if that would be a leeway into me going into biomedical engineering. After talking to a few friends who were in medical school and dental school, they suggested that I take the medical entrance exam for medical school. And I really hadn't thought about that and really didn't know anything about it, but I knew I'd really liked the biology, so I figured I'd give it a try. I took the entrance exam and did really well on it, and the next thing I knew I was going to medical school. I went to medical school in Indiana since I was already a resident there, and that was a 4-year ordeal. And fortunately, I graduated on time and got a chance to really learn a lot and kind of figure out what I wanted to do, which was ophthalmology. So as I mentioned earlier, after 4 years of medical school, the specialty like ophthalmology or surgery or family practice will require additional training. And in ophthalmology, it was 4 years. So that training was broken up into an internship and a residency, meaning the internship is the first year of training. I went to Houston, Texas, to the University of Texas for my internship, and I did the remaining 3 years of my residency, which is purely training in ophthalmology at the University of Tennessee in Chattanooga. When I finished training there, it was time for me to get a job. So upon graduating from my program, my residency program, I got my first job in South Texas near Mexico. So now I was challenged with being in another different environment. It was an environment that was probably 95% Hispanic. So I felt comfortable with that because I like people, and it gave me an opportunity to learn a little Spanish, but more importantly, it gave me an opportunity to be an ophthalmologist, to do a lot of surgeries, to live in a place I hadn't been in, and grow not only professionally but as a person. Around that time, my wife and I decided to get married. We wanted to come back east where our relatives were, and believe it or not, my first job was in LaGrange. The clinic that I'm at now is where I was, and it was called Clark Holder Clinic, and I worked there for a couple of years. After working at Clark Holder Clinic for a couple of years, we decided we wanted to live in Atlanta, so we moved to Atlanta, and I worked for a medical practice there. After working there for a while, I wanted to work on my own and have my own practice. So I set out on my own and hung my own shingles, as they say, and opened my own practice. And that was going great. One of the challenges I ran into was that it was around the time of the 2008 financial crash. A lot of you probably were not born then, but it was a serious financial crisis that impacted a lot of people, and it slowed my business down to the point where for me to succeed, I would have had to move to a totally different part of town. Well, at that time, we were having my daughter, and my primary concern was providing for my family. So I closed my practice and went to do some contract work with the military in Kansas. So now all of a sudden I'm going across the country again, and I'm working in Kansas. And this was a totally different environment for me. And I always had an interest in the Army and a curiosity about it, but never joined. And this gave me an opportunity to work with the military. One of the things that I did that was key to my professional growth was performing laser surgery on the soldiers who were working in the desert. One of the concerns with working in the desert is that sand can get in your eyes, get in your contacts and your glasses. So they wanted the soldiers to not have to worry about dealing with that. So the laser surgery would give them improved vision without them having to rely on glasses and contacts. And it turned out to be a godsend, where I ended up doing over 1,100 surgeries in about a year and a half. That's something else that allowed me to grow professionally, just like when I went out on my own. After I finished my contract with the Army, we went back to the East Coast, where I got a chance to join a practice where I was able to do thousands of cataract surgeries. And after I gained a lot of experience there, we decided to come back to Georgia, where I rejoined the clinic here in LaGrange. It was renamed Clark Holder Clinic, from Clark Holder Clinic to Emory LaGrange, and that's where I work now. So I think some of the things that I want to emphasize is that you can't be, or you shouldn't be afraid to change what you do. As you can see, I've done a lot of changing in my life, but you want to do it in a healthy way. You want to feel that you're being wise about it. You want to feel that you've gotten good information and advice. And you don't want to just change to just make a difference or change the environments. You want to change if you're, really motivated deep down that it's time to make a difference. The other things I want you to think about is that your gifts and your talents are not just for you. Everybody has certain gifts and talents, but ultimately you share them with people on some kind of level, in some kind of way. So that's why it's important to be serious about the work you do, because not only do you provide for yourself, but chances are you're going to assist somebody or impact somebody else's life in ways that you may not think about. It's important to be well-rounded. Even though pretty much all of my professional career has been in the sciences, they've been in the sciences like engineering and medicine, I still managed to play guitar at church. I still managed to be an amateur athlete and run 5Ks every now and then. I haven't run a 5K since the virus, but I still exercise. But the bottom line is you want to be as well-rounded as you can. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Long as you go into things with the right intentions, long as you mean well, you'll probably end up growing from them, and you'll be able to recover and rebound from them. So you can't be afraid to live, but you just want to be wise about how you go about it. I personally am a person of faith, so that's helped me in my decision making, and it's helped me in my guidance. But whatever you do or however you do it, you want to feel a peace about what you're doing, and you want to feel strongly about it. And you want to check your ego. You want to make sure you're not doing things for the wrong reason. And in checking your ego, you got to check your ego's ego. What's talking to you, what's driving you, what's telling you things, what's making you make decisions, what are those influences, where are they coming from? You know, so you always want to ask those questions, because a lot of times you hear a lot of voices in your head and you want to make sure you understand where they're coming from. So basically, I just want you all to be encouraged to have the courage to move forward, to challenge yourselves, and to realize that there's a big world out here waiting for you all. Again, I'd like to thank the City of West Point for allowing me to speak to you all for the annual Black History Program. And I wish you all well and God bless. Thank you.
This is the part of the program that I enjoy the most, other than the speaker. We get to honor our babies of the community. And like no other community, we honor all races within the city of West Point. We know that this is Black history and we celebrate Black history every day. But because we are unique, we celebrate each other. So at this time, we will have a presentation by Troop High School, West Point Elementary, Long Kang Middle School, Point University, and Chattahoochee Learning Academy.
Good evening, I'm Jan Franks, the principal of West Point Elementary School, and it's my privilege to introduce to you Jalacia Turner, who will be sharing a poem about dreams. At West Point Elementary, we work hard to set goals to achieve our dreams. So, Jalacia.
Follow your dream by Guided Bradley. Follow your dream. Take one step at a time and don't settle for less. Just continue to climb. Follow your dream. If you stumble, don't stop and lose sight of your goal. Press to the top. For only on top can we see the whole view. Can we see what we've done and what we can do? Can we have the vision to see something new? Press on. Follow your dream.
It's my honor to recognize the following students and their accomplishments.
My name is Dante Dennis. I'm in the 8th grade. I go to Long Kang Middle School. My future goal is to be in the Army for about 10 years. My favorite coach is Drew Garner, who coaches wrestling at Troop High School. He is my favorite coach, and he provides discipline for me.
Hey everyone, my name is Nehemiah Pace. I'm the Men's Resident Director at Point University, and I work in the Student Life Department. At this point of the Black History Month program, we want to take some time to introduce and celebrate some students here at Point University who have shown outstanding achievements. So our first student that we're celebrating today is Benjamin Colas. Benjamin is an awesome student here at Point University. Benjamin is a music major. He is specializing in percussion, so he's really good at the drums. Benjamin is a part of the marching band who has won many accolades here at Point University because of their awesome performances. And Benjamin also serves as a campus life minister here on this campus, which is a big leadership role here at Point University's campus. The next student we're celebrating today is Kimberly Forbes. Kimberly is the life of the party here at Point University. Kimberly is an exercise science major. She is a part of the women's basketball team. She has helped the women's basketball team achieve many goals through her years of playing on the team. Kimberly also serves as a campus life minister for her 3rd year in a row, and she is very vital to our team. Our next student that we're highlighting today is Daniel Sheldon. Fun fact about Daniel, he came here recruited as a soccer recruit, but then transitioned to a tennis player. This goes to show you how much of a well-rounded man he is. Daniel is also an exercise science major, and Daniel also serves on our CLM team. Daniel is also a 3-year participant on our leadership team, and he is very vital to our team and the success that we have in the student body. Our next student that we're celebrating today is Yumika Brewer. Yumika is a women's lacrosse player here at Point University and also serves as a team captain on her team. Yumika is a biology pre-professional major who is graduating in May. Exciting news, Yumika just got accepted into Howard University. Congratulations, Yumika. She also serves as a campus life minister here at Point University. The next student that we are celebrating today is Hadley Purdue. Hadley is an exercise science major who is graduating in May. Hadley is also a part of the volleyball team here at Point University. Hadley also serves as a campus life minister here at Point University and is a big contributor to our team. Our last and not least student that we are celebrating today is Nicholas Partlow. Nick is a quarterback on the Point University football team. Nick also serves as a CLM for his 2nd consecutive year. Nick is graduating this May with an exercise science degree. Congratulations, Nick. Once again, my name is Nehemiah Pace with Point University. Thank you all so much for tuning in virtually to the City of West Point's Black History Month program. Have a blessed day.
Heather Holtz, the lead teacher at the Chattahoochee Early Learning Academy in West Point, and we want to wish you a happy Black History Month, and we thank the City of West Point for always putting on such a great tribute.
Each year, we recognize and honor our town heroes, people who made a difference in our community. This presentation will come from Councilmember Dee Dee Williams, Councilmember Henry Hutchison, and following the end of the program, we have a special, very special presentation by Councilmember Gloria Marshall.
Good evening. I'm Dee Dee Williams, member of the West Point City Council. It is a pleasure to be a part of this program this evening, recognizing some of West Point's best. It's my honor on this occasion to recognize some unsung heroines in our community, the West Point Elementary Nutritional Team. National statistics indicate that some 27% of West Point children live in poverty. For many of these families, one or more meals a day is not a guarantee, and for some, it's a luxury. When COVID-19 closed our schools in March of last year, and throughout the summer months, the West Point Elementary Nutritional Team went to work, preparing and delivering meals and snacks to over 500 children daily by bus, by drop-off, by drive-by, and by drop-in. They became God's ram in the bush, providing food for the most vulnerable among us, poor children. Although we don't have every team member's name, they again demonstrated the character of this community as a caring, giving place to live. Tonight we extend our appreciation and salute them for their quiet effort and diligence. Thank you, West Point Elementary Nutritional Team.
In order to be a great leader, one must first learn how to be a great and humble servant. Rodale Poole is a fine example of that. Pastor Poole is entering his 12th year as pastor of New Love Union Baptist Church, where he started his food ministry. His initial service was providing beverages to his church members and people within the surrounding communities. A couple years later, a friend of his told him about Feeding the Valley Food Bank. That would be the beginning of a partnership that allowed Pastor Poole to expand his ministry throughout the community even further. Even to this day, he is still standing on God's word and serving the people. You can find him at New Love Union Church on Mondays and Fridays, passing out bread to anyone in need once a month and giving out grocery boxes containing a variety of fruits, vegetables, canned goods, and other produce. When asked what motivates him to keep going in his food ministry, he simply says, "I thank God for allowing me to do what I do. None of this could take place without him in the midst of it. I just tell God thank you for New Love Union disciples and all others that volunteer to help package the food and distribute it throughout the community. Thanks to Pastor Poole and all that serve in his ministry for continued service throughout the community."
2020. Take a moment and look back on your 2020. 2020 has been a year that we will never forget. COVID-19, a vicious virus, has torn through our community, leaving a path of grief and sorrow for many whom we loved and cherished. Here at the city of West Point, our very own Van Billingsley Summers passed to this deadly virus only weeks after losing her sister to the same virus. For over 15 years, Van was a bright light at the front desk at City Hall. She's always had a big smile on her face and a word of cheer and encouragement for those who entered the lobby at City Hall. She was always willing to help anyone and everyone that was in need. Van truly had a heart of gold. Her passion for life and love for others was shown in the way that she lived. We dedicate this Black History program to Van and all the other victims of COVID-19. As we honor and remember them, may we always cherish and hold sacred the love we have for them. May their light forever shine in our hearts. Van, we love you. We will always miss you.
Lives every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Okay, everybody knows that I'm not a singer, but sometimes you just have to step in. So, I would like to thank our sponsors for this event. Without them, this program would not have been possible. Sandra Ogletree Towns, LaGrange, Georgia. Troop Auto Repair, LLC, Judge Wesley and Leslie Leonard. Our major sponsors are Mayor Steve Trammell and the West Point Police Department. Also, thank you to our other sponsor, which is West Point Presbyterian Church. Pastor Gerald Ledbetter is the pastor. Also, April Ross, BTV Network, Gator Media, T Photograph It, Narfunda Ross for putting this together, and also thanks goes to the Times News. And of course, we cannot leave out our awesome speaker, Dr. Lawrence Brack.
Hi, I'm Chief Britt, Chief of West Point Police Department. On behalf of the City of West Point, we're glad to be a sponsor for the Black History Program here in West Point. I want to thank Mrs. Thornton for her hard work and dedication to this program, and also the citizens of West Point and Troup County.
Thank you all. Hope you enjoyed the program, and we will, if the creek don't rise and whatever, but we will be here next year, 2022. God bless all of you.